In life, we often find ourselves comparing. It's not because we want to, but because it feels almost automatic. We scroll through social media, and there it is. Someone smiling on a beach, someone buying a new car, someone getting married, and suddenly, we whisper to ourselves, why can't my life be like that? Comparison. It starts so small, just a passing thought, but it quietly eats away at our peace. This is a story about a little crow who, just like many of us, didn't realize how beautiful his own life already was until he almost lost it. One calm afternoon, under a golden sky, a young crow flew across a quiet village. He wasn't the most graceful bird. His feathers were black and dull. His call was rough, and nobody ever stopped to look at him. As he glided down, he noticed a pond nearby, its water shining like glass, and there, in the middle of it, swam a magnificent swan. The swan's feathers glowed as white as snow. Children gathered around, pointing, laughing, and throwing breadcrumbs into the water. The crow landed on a branch and watched silently. He saw how the villagers admired the swan's beauty, but then, when they noticed him, their smiles faded. Some even threw stones to chase him away. He flapped his wings and flew off, his heart trembling. Maybe they hate me because of how I look, he thought. Maybe if I had feathers like the swan, people would love me too. The crow sat on a lonely branch deep inside the forest, the sunlight fading between the trees. His reflection shone faintly on a nearby puddle, dark, rough, ordinary. He sighed, his eyes heavy. Why did I have to be born like this? Just then, an old crow landed beside him. His feathers were graying, his eyes kind but wise. What troubles you, young one? He asked gently. The young crow looked down. I'm ugly. Everyone hates me. I wish I looked like the swan. It's loved, admired, beautiful. The old crow smiled softly. So you think the swan is happy? Of course, the young crow said. Everyone loves it. Then why don't you go ask it yourself? Said the old crow. You may be surprised by its answer. The next morning, the crow flew back to the pond. The swan was there, gliding gently over the water. The crow perched nearby and said, Dear swan, you must be the happiest bird alive. Everyone adores you. Your feathers are so white, so beautiful. I wish I could be like you. The swan turned and smiled sadly. Thank you, little crow. My feathers may be white, but happiness, that I don't have. People keep me as a pet. I cannot fly freely, and when I grow old, they may even take my life for my meat. You can fly wherever you want, I cannot. Do you still think I'm happy? The crow blinked in disbelief. Then, who do you think is the happiest bird? The swan thought for a moment. The parrot, perhaps. It's colorful, and people love to listen to its voice. It must live a better life than mine. So the crow thanked the swan and flew off in search of a parrot. After flying for hours, he reached a busy village market. Inside a small shop, he saw a bright green parrot sitting in a cage. Its feathers shimmered in red, blue, and gold. The crow landed beside the cage. Dear parrot, he said, you must be the happiest bird. You're so colorful, and everyone loves you. The parrot looked at him with tired eyes. My feathers are pretty, yes, but because of them, I live behind these bars. I can't fly. I can't feel the wind. I can't see the sky. I just repeat the same words every day to make people smile. You're lucky, crow. You are free. A wave of sadness washed over the young crow. Then who do you think is happy? He asked softly. The parrot tilted its head. Maybe the peacock. Everyone admires its feathers. It lives in grand places. Go ask it. And so, the crow flew again, this time to a large zoo on the edge of the city. The sound of chatter filled the air as children pressed their faces against the bars of a golden cage. Inside, a majestic peacock spread its feathers dazzling blues, greens, and golds that glimmered under the sun. The crowd gasped in admiration. When everyone had left, The crow approached quietly. "Dear peacock," he said gently, "you are the most beautiful bird I have ever seen. Everyone loves you. You must be the happiest." The peacock slowly folded its feathers and sighed. "No, little crow. People love my beauty. Yes, but they also take my feathers, pluck them, and sell them. I live in a cage, trapped behind these golden bars. When I see you flying freely in the sky, I wish I could trade places with you, just for one day." The crow froze. His heart stopped for a moment. "Trade places with me," he thought. "But I'm just a crow." He looked up at the open sky. It was wide, endless. His wings twitched. The air whispered softly through the trees. For the first time, he noticed how beautiful the world looked from where he stood, not through the eyes of others, but through the feeling of freedom. He turned back to the peacock and said, "Thank you." Then, without another word, he spread his wings and flew. Higher and higher he went. Above the zoo, above the trees, above everything that had once made him feel so small. The wind rushed through his feathers, and for the first time, he smiled. When he reached the forest, the old crow was waiting. "So," the old one asked, "did you find the happiest bird?" The young crow landed softly and said, "Yes, it's me." The old crow chuckled warmly. "Now you understand, don't you? The world will always look better from the outside. But happiness, it's found when you start loving what is already yours." The young crow looked at the horizon, where the golden sun was setting. The same color that once made him feel small now painted his feathers in light. And that day, he whispered to the sky, "I don't want to be anyone else. I am enough." We spend so much of our lives comparing ourselves to others, wishing for their looks, their wealth, their luck. But every person you admire is fighting their own quiet battle. The swan fears for its freedom. The parrot longs for the open skies. The peacock cries in its cage. And yet, the crow, plain, ordinary, and overlooked, is the only one who can truly fly free. So, the next time you look at someone else's life and think, "I wish I were them," just pause, take a deep breath, and remember someone out there is wishing they could live your life. Be grateful. Be proud of who you are, because there's no one in this world who can be a better version of you than you. And that, right there, is the real beauty of life. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more content that helps us find the beauty in our own lives. Until next time, take care.